Okay, in this lesson we're going to talk again about margins and padding. That is something we'll be using a lot in the lessons or in the assignments. And I'm just going to cover right now just a few things that I also talk about in the assignment videos. So last week we did talk about the box model. Once again, this is the content where we're, either text or an image might be, and then around that is going to be the invisible padding. And above that, it will be if you do have a border. And then what we'll be using the most is just the margin. And these areas, the margin and the padding, are both just invisible areas. So let's look at, and what I wanted to go over right now was the margin shorthand. So we can use any of these: the margin top, margin bottom, margin left. So if we wanted margin right, we would just do the margin right and then add our values and our properties. But I was going to show you here, this is our shorthand. So it's sort of like the shortcut. So we have our margin, colon, then you have your top value and your right value, your bottom value, and your left value. So as it's written here, top, right, bottom, left. And if you look at the model, it starts at the top and then it goes clockwise. So top, right, bottom, left. And so this is basically, if you don't want to just have to write them all like margin top, margin right, margin bottom, if you have a few that you have to work on. And also sometimes you'll see that the top and the bottom here, if this one will be it can also be the same, like or say let's, and I'll show this here in a minute. If this one, if our left is the same as our right, we can leave out this one, so it can just be these three. And if both our left and our bottom are the same as our top and right, then we can just leave these out, because this will signify both 25 pixels will be both for top and bottom, and this will both be for right and left. So in this example here, we see here it is written out in our code, margin. So this will be our 25 pixels at the top. This will be our 50 on the right. This will be 75 on the bottom and 100 on the left. So we can change these values. Let's say we want to do 50 on the left, and this should shorten up to be 50, as you can see there. Let's say maybe we want more on our top, so let's add it. Let's go 100. And there we've added 100 on our top. Okay, let's go and let me show you what. So this is our 50 and 50. Let's say we want to go on our right. Let's go 70. So you see that widened up there. Now let's say we want our top and bottom to be the same. Let's make them both 25. And maybe we want our top, let's say, actually let's start with our right and left. So here's our right and here's our left. Let's make those, we'll go 50. So 50 and 50. So we'll just X this one out. So it should be both 50 on both sides, even though we don't have to have that in there. So this will be signifying that this will be both our right side, and it'll also be on our left. So there you see it. It's kind of even on both sides, so that it should be 50. Let's do the same for our top and bottom. So we'll make this one 100. Let's make it 100 so we can see how large it is. And we'll take out our bottom. So this will signify both our top and our bottom. And then you see there's 100 here and 100 there on the bottom. And this can also, the same shorthand can also be used for our padding. So there we have 100 on the top and our bottom, and 50 on our left and right. Let's change maybe our, just to show you, let's say on our bottom we'll change that back to 20. And there's our bottom down there at 20. Okay, that's for margins. Okay, in our assignment we will have one box in there that will show a rounded corner. So if you would like to see how to do this, we are going to use the border radius property. And yes, this will give us the rounded corners. As you can see, it here is radius or border radius. If you want to go and try it out on the W3 School site, play around with the size of it. So here's 25. It's a good medium. Let's change that to, we'll try 100. Oop. You see it's very rounded, almost turns into a circle there. Let's try 10. And you can see there it is barely rounded. So there's how you can control your corners. Okay, one thing I wanted to touch on, this will be the last thing in this part of the lesson, is the CSS lists. And the reason I wanted to cover this for a bit is that I show how to, in our assignment, to create a group of boxes, and instead of using div sections, we use lists. And you can see the difference between the unordered lists, which is signified by icon, or the ordered lists, which are, you can see they're done with numbers. So let's we'll take a quick look at that in our HTML. So here we see our UL, our class selector selected with the A, and inside we have our LI. So this is for our lists, and this shows the examples of coffee, tea, and over here. And here's our A. If we go up here into our CSS, we'll see our selector and then our .a, and that shows us that our list type is going to be the circle. And so here you see the circles. So in our assignment, we're going to use just some block shapes. So let me kind of change this here. So I'm going to change this to our LI, which is going to change all of our elements, all our list elements, and we're going to display it as a block. So they're going to be squares all around all the list items. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a border around it, 1 pixel solid red. And if you look down at the HTML, all of our list items are all here signified by the LI. So let's do run. And here you see we have all the blocks all around all the list items. And that's it for this lesson.